Welcome to Command Tutorial. Today we're going to talk about database management system. And in this tutorial, we're going to talk about the database language that we can use. So if you look here in our note, we're going to use SQL. What SQL stands for? SQL stands for Structured Query Language. SQL is a standard programming language for accessing and manipulating database. If you are an SQL developer and an SQL administrator, you should be able to know full statement of SQL. And the full statement are data definition language, data manipulation language, data control language, data query language. You should be familiar with the full statement. According to data definition language, it says that this data definition language is used to define the database data type, structure, constraint on the database or on the data, and some of those statements that is in data definition language are create, author, drop. Now, among those four statements, today we're going to use data definition language. And what we're going to use is the create statement. We use create to create a new database object, such as table and the name of the database itself. Now, there are different SQL management styles that we can be able to use. For us, we're going to use Microsoft SQL Management Studio. You can be able to use MySQL. You can be able to use Oracle. You can be able to use PostgreSQL. You can be able to use Asset, Microsoft Asset Database. Now, for our demonstration, like I said, we're going to use this identical one that you can see here. But let me close this. Let me close this. So I will close this. Okay, close this. So now let's open this. If we open this, we come here to this one, come to your Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. So I'll click on this one. In this instant, my computer has become a local server. So when I open, they will ask to connect to my local server. So this Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio, Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio have been connected to my computer, which is my server. If you look here, you will see database. If you expand this, you will see the name of different database that I have created. Now, let's move on now. The first thing before you create a database, you should have a database design already. You should know the type of database that you want to create. So here's a question for you. What kind of database do you want to create? Do you want to create database for school, database for hospitals, database for inventory? What kind of database do you want to create? You should be able to identify the type of database that you want to create. If you identify the type of database you want to create, make it more easy for you. Now, move on now. Let's see how we can create our first database. If you look up the ribbon, you will see new query. Select new query. So just hold on. Okay. So now the environment is already open for you to be able to create your database. But SQL has what they call comment. The comment is there to document our work. The comment cannot be displayed when we run our code. It just explains what we're working with. Let's take for example, I created a database and because of some reason I am not able to continue creating the database, or the owner of the database say, you know what, I need all my material. What will help the new database developer is by means of comment. When we write comment, it becomes more easier for another person to be able to explain or for them to be able to understand what we are doing. So let's say, for example, now I want to write a comment. So, for example, I'll come here, let's say, and say dash dash, and write what I want to explain. So, for example, I want to say create database. So you see, so if even if I run this database, the comment will not be seen. Only the database developer or administrator will be able to see this comment and know that okay, this line here is for creating database. So let's create our database now. So to create database, you say create and you say database. So you say create, you say database. Sorry. Okay. So what's the name of the database? So we want to create database for school. And we're going to say Bumi on our stroke. I'm going to say college. So that's the name of the database. Now, how can we run our database? So to be able to run our database, we have to left click down and select this. Say execute. See, when we say execute, they say that this database has been created successfully. But where can we see it? So you can just come here and refresh. When you refresh, you come here and get database. Click on it or expand this. And when you click on it and expand it, you will see Bumi College, which is the name of our database. So our database has already been created. So within Bumi College, you can create multiple of tables within that because the database holds multiple of tables or so many tables. Now, let's come here now. If you look here, you will see master. This section shows the database that is active or the available database. So for now, the default database is what is active. So how we can make Bumi College database to be active? Now, if you look here, there are two ways we can do it. You can come to the drop down here like this and choose Bumi College. Bumi College is not active. But there's another way we can do it. So let me change this back to, let me just change it to any database or let me just change it back to master. So we can use any database. So how can we make our database active? So we can come here now. There's the second way. We can say use and we can put the name of the database there. Use Bumi underscore college. So you see, when I say use Bumi underscore college, we can come here like this. You see, so use Bumi underscore college is already active. That you can see is active now. We're in this area, available database area. Now, let's come here now and talk about schema. We want to use schema, but what is schema? So schema is a folder that is inside the database. And what schemas does, it helps to organize or group related objects. So the question now is, how can we create schema? So we say schema is a folder within the database. So what I will do, I will come here and I will come here and comment and say create schema. So this is what I will do now. So I will say create schema. So we are creating schema. Now, to be able to create schema, you say create schema. The name of the schema will be college. So we just need to run this. So I will come here, select this, and execute. You see, my schema is already being created. So I want to say thank you for watching this tutorial. Please continue following me or subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to create more tutorial. So in the next video, we're going to learn how we can be able to create tables. We're going to talk about the constraint statement and so many things. So I beg you, I'm encouraging you to please continue following me by watching my tutorial. This is Brahman Tutorial.